can handle it. Now, if you play with this in the platform preview, you may go, that's a little bit sluggish. It's not quite as fast as some of that stuff I was seeing on stage. And you're right, it isn't there yet. This is, an amazingly complicated file. And in fact, having come out of CAD, it's kind of funny, but they don't even use text. Those are actual paths for all the letters here. So it actually explodes the number of paths in this floor plan tremendously. But this is actual floor plan exported from the Microsoft Real Estate and Facilities CAD system. And it happens to be the second floor of Building 50 where the Internet Explorer team is located. So if you want to plot against us, it's there. Now, if a floor plan is complicated, when you get into GIS and the amount of data that's carried around in mapping is very large. So if you play with this, you might even discover that it zooms slightly slower. Yet, it's neat that it's totally object-oriented. So when I hover over, I can learn, oh, hey, it's Portugal and it's Spain, and I think that's France up there. And, this is done just the same way you would do this in HTML. I'm just going to flip over. Oh, that's our T-shirt. That's what T-shirt, by the way, looks like when it's formatted up in a browser. There's the world map data. And we took this. This is actually output by our SQL Server spatial extensions and the geographic data that they ship with that. So basically, what this has here, we did a tiny bit of optimization to turn each country into one path. So every country is one path. But the way you do it's just the standard on mouse over, or over here on mouse out. Wow, that scroll bar looks like it's got a lot. On mouse out, yeah, I guess we didn't word wrap anything here. What's a really complicated country? I have no idea. If I go hit end, I'll be surprised how long the paths are. And that scroll bar hasn't even hardly moved yet. There are some places out here that are just tremendously long paths. Yeah. Look at the bottom scroll bar. I mean, I'm not even, okay, this is bad. In the old version of Visual Studio, I used to get a warning that said your text lines were really long and the editor would get slow. Visual 2010 doesn't give me the warning, and in fact, the performance seems quite good, so a little commercial there. But so the map, what do we got? Oh, we got DevTools up. Oh, man, we got DevTools up on the world map. That's scary, John. We better get those out of there because we're trying to chew on the same huge paths. So just reset that. So when you play with this, you'll see that there are some performance issues when you get to very large files, floor plans, maps, tons of data. Again, we're committed to improving that. We've already put all these things through the profiler. We started to figure out why they're not as fast as we want. And suffice it to say, you work on it. But what I think is neat is you can actually start to handle this kind of data at scale with quality in browsers, and that's exciting to me. So, come back. Actually, we have one last thing because I've just shown kind of a bunch of static samples. This is a real site put together for the European elections, and this was the 2004 election results. There's a 2008 election results site, but the author kindly let us use this one. And what's fun here is you got that same kind of hover and interaction, but much more data behind it as you see the table changing in the top right in terms of how the votes were distributed across 5 political parties in there. In fact, the map is showing right now for the Christian Democratic Union Party how the vote was distributed through Germany, and you can see down here in Bavaria was much stronger representation than other parts. Now it's interesting, you go change to a party like the Green Party, and it's distributed very differently. In fact, the Green Party vote is very high in like Berlin and Hanover. I mean, okay, it helps if you can read German a little bit, but it's interesting, the urban areas are much more for the Greens, I guess, than the country. And when I saw this presentation at SVG Open last fall, the presenter also made the point how there's still a lot of differences left from the historical East Germany, West Germany split, and you see it also in voter participation. This right here is voter turnout. and how the kind of the oldest part of East Germany, with the exception of Berlin right in the middle, actually has quite low voter turnout. And it's an interesting way, again, to visualize certain data. This is about European elections. But I think there's a lot of opportunity when you start thinking how you marry data with geospatial information to create some very interesting visualizations. And visualizations that, well, you just no way you're going to do. I don't think there's any other way than SVG to bring this together in a browser. And again, this is a XHTML page. It works in the other browsers as well as IE Platform Preview. So that's kind of the quick demos I wanted to run through almost. I wanted to go and show one more bit on video. Dean was all about video that was high performance and really kind of stressing the browser. I'm kind of the other way. I've got this, what is it? My kid got a camera. I have a couple teenage sons. And he got this camera as a gift last summer when we were going on vacation. It's a little Kodak ZX1 video camera, kind of like the Flip, like $100 HD video camera. So I just took it and I go, well, that's interesting, but I wonder if that just works. And you know what? So I took it to Microsoft.
All right, we are recording.
Okay, I don't need the volume.
Check this out.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I was just trying, hey, and I go, and literally all I did is hook this up to the USB port and dragged the file into the folder and hooked it up with the video tag, because lo and behold, all these cameras, since Sony and Panasonic sort of standardized around MPEG-4, H.264, AAC audio, even though this happens to have an MOV extension, which made me think it was QuickTime, and I go, oh man, I'm going to be out of luck. The fact is, it just worked great in the video tag. So yesterday, when we were hanging around Mix, I thought, oh, okay, this is during some rehearsals. I thought I'll just take some video, and this had a VGA mode, so I thought, oh, okay, that's not too bad either. I go take a little bit of VGA video, and then, well, this is Dean, well, I guess before Dean came on board, but then Dean was practicing his speech last night, walking through it, so he had notes, he's working through it. Then Stephen came on board, and we're working through some of the talk there. And it was just fun. I was just sitting there and kind of taking this, and the neat thing is to drag it onto the machine and go. And I don't think this is going to replace any of the professional quality video that we're doing here for Mix. But when I go take a picture of my dog and I want to go put it on the website for my relatives or something, I figure I don't need huge production. I don't need IIS, smooth streaming, and adaptive this or that. Just throw the MPEG-4 file on my machine, play it back in the video tag, and it's a lot of fun. So that's one of the reasons, probably one of the main reasons we're supporting the MPEG-4 codecs, because it's just really ready with your cameras that you have today, consumer cameras, and still and digital. Yeah, that's my pup. I like my pup. So anyway, well, thank you all. So with that, we'll go back to the slides and just recap a little bit our view of GPU-powered HTML5 and what we have focused on for Platform Preview 1. So, John, you want to come up? We'll take some questions in a few minutes. Yeah, right.